Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a lot of Battlefield 6 news to get through. I'm going to try and do this as quickly, as concisely as I can for you guys. The big one, of course, as I'm sure you can tell from the title, is that BF6 has just destroyed Call of Duty's all-time player count with a beta. Pretty impressive, I think you'll agree. We've got a lot of balanced comments here from the lead producer David Serland over on X. EA's new Javelin anti-cheat system has banned over 330,000 cheaters from the game. We've got a comparison of console performance for anybody who's playing on those systems. So without further ado, let's just break everything down. If you guys enjoy the content here on the channel, I'm going to be covering everything around Battlefield 6, keeping you guys updated with the news, putting out guides, gameplay, everything you can imagine. If that's something you're looking for, hitting the sub button is massively appreciated. I know the majority of you guys watching the channel aren't subscribed, even though you may often see these in the recommended section, so doing that is super appreciated, guys. And as always, thank you guys so much for the support so far. You've been absolutely killing it, and well, you know it, I couldn't do it without you, so cheers so much for that. So first of all, from Battlefield Bulletin, he says, breaking, the Battlefield 6's open beta has finally surpassed Call of Duty's highest all-time concurrent player count on Steam with over 500,000 concurrent players. The 18th most played game of all time, by the way, on Steam by concurrent users. And this screenshot here is actually outdated by him. This was the peak on Steam. It was 517,853 players, which to me is insane because considering that is only Steam, and then there's also a bunch of players on PlayStation, on Xbox, the EA app, I think even the Epic Games Store, there's a lot of different platforms there. There has to have been, like, maybe close to 1 million people playing the beta at the same time yesterday. I know I was playing it, I'm sure a lot of you guys were playing it, and it is a lot of fun. So to think that this is already topping Call of Duty's peak player numbers is quite humbling of a thought, because, I mean, think about Call of Duty, right? As far as I know, that client has Warzone in it, it's got the Battle Royale in it, it's got all of the different Call of Duty experiences. This is just the beta for, like, the main game. We haven't even seen Battlefield's Royale mode launch yet, so just imagine, like, what possibilities we could see once the game actually comes out. Absolutely crazy. Now, I hadn't heard about this yet, but apparently there is a sort of combined community destruction skin that we can all work towards unlocking in the beta. And at the moment, the total destruction cost that we need to incur is, I think that's $1 trillion. I don't know, there's way too many zeros there that I can even tell you guys what number this is. And if we complete that as a community, we will get apparently a skin for the M60 machine gun. So this is also nice that they're teasing that the M60 is going to be in the game. Clearly, just like the other skins that you're unlocking in the game, you know, via playing it, via Twitch drops and whatnot, you're only going to be able to equip these once the game comes out. I know a lot of people have been asking me, Ghost, where is the cosmetics menu in the beta? Well, there isn't one. It's only for the full game, and it will carry over on your account. Now, a couple of days ago, I put up a video and it showcased that cheats are already out in the wild for Battlefield 6. People are already cheating in the beta. A lot of people were worried in the comment section there that everybody was going to be cheating. That is not at all what I was insinuating, guys. I just wanted to make it clear that, you know, cheaters have already started developing things for this game and they are available for people. Not to really worry you, but just for transparency's sake. However, this was posted over on the EA forums, and it says, since Open Beta Early Access's launch, Javelin has prevented 330,000 attempts to cheat or tamper with anti-cheat controls. You've reported 44,000 instances of potential cheaters during day 1 and another 60,000 so far today. We are already using these with our own gameplay integrity team to add and improve our detections for Battlefield 6. They are also working with the Battlefield Positive Play team to actively remove those reported we confirm to be cheaters. Anti-cheat isn't one and done, it's an ever-evolving battlefield, and what has worked for us previously or in different games doesn't always work in all of them. So first of all, great to see that this new anti-cheat system, along with like the secure boot thing, is working to combat a lot of cheating attempts. But I have to say, it does surprise me that there's been 330,000 attempts at cheating in the game already. Like, that is a bananas number to me. First of all, why would you want to cheat in literally like an open beta? Kind of weird. I mean, I suppose it sort of makes sense though, because it's free, so you could just make yourself a new account and cheat in it, and not get your main account banned. So hopefully those numbers will actually go down once people have spent money on the game and they don't want to get banned for that reason. Now, for anyone having problems crashing, if you're an Intel Arc GPU user, Intel has just released a new game-ready driver for Battlefield 6's open beta to address the system freeze while loading the game. So I know that's not probably many of you, but wanted to put that out there. Now, there's also a new Discord quest. So it says the Battlefield 6 open beta quest here. Play Battlefield 6 on desktop or a connected console for 15 minutes, and you get this cool little helmet and a pair of goggles there. I've seen a lot of people rocking those already, so if you're a Discord user, make sure you do that if it's what rocks your boat. And that leads us into some of the replies from David Serland. Now, David Serland is the lead producer on the game. He's been working on Battlefield, well, at least since Battlefield 4, I think Battlefield 3 and even earlier, and he actually came back to the studio to work on Battlefield 6. Like, I think he left probably because he was not happy with the way things were being run on Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, although those are just my words, you know, I'm just guessing here. But regardless, he's come back. I think he's been an asset to the team here, and he's been replying to people over on X on balance within Battlefield 6, because whilst the game is really, really fun to play, I do have a few niggles with it, vehicles being one of them, and there will be a full video on that coming from me in the future once the beta is over. But this question comes in from Bulls, and he says, David, quick question unrelated to the vehicles. Is Liberation Peak Breakthrough being looked at? A lot of snipers, defenders can literally look right into the spawn on the first objective, for example. And David says, yes, of course, Breakthrough Balance is always one of the things we anticipate needing noodling and iterations to get it right. And that is certainly true. I think we see a lot of changes to Breakthrough in every Battlefield release, but this guy is correct. If you've played Breakthrough on Liberation Peak, it is insanely defender-sided, especially on that first point. You know, the defenders can get up on the rocks, they can literally look down into the spawn of the attackers, they can snipe them in there. It's just really unbalanced and definitely needs to be looked into. So good to hear that. Crypto Hobo here says, please revisit the helicopter physics. Battlefield 3 and 4 had it nailed down, but here it feels so floaty and unresponsive, like a balloon. I understand making it accessible, but there should be advanced control options for the more experienced players. 2042 also suffered from this. And David says, helicopter physics were initiated from Battlefield 4, on the attack helicopter he's talking about here. We've done more to them, and more will be happening too here. It's not at all the same to 2042, as it has the dive and hover mode of BF4, for example. Power curve wise, I still think they are a little weak. So, I definitely agree with the poster here, Crypto Hobo, that the attack helicopters in particular need a lot of work, guys. Like, they just really feel like floating barges to me. You know, they need tons of work on the flight model. He says the power curve wise, they still need a little bit of a tweak. I don't really feel what David's saying here about them being similar to Battlefield 4 helis, because it's probably because they're just so heavy and too weighty that they're pretty much like immovable. You can't pull off any interesting maneuvers in them because the yaw is just so weak that you can't sort of right the helicopter in time if you throw it on its side to get out of dodge. So good to hear that they are looking into that there. So this one comes from Miraj Delami, and he says, tanks are exceptionally slow, both their movement and their turrets. Please bring back directional damage to the armor as well. Currently, it's 25 damage to all sides. And David actually says, no, directional damage to armor is very much in the game. Hit the back for 50, angles matter, get it straight. So this is actually the way it worked in Battlefield 4. I did not know this. I also thought it was 25 damage on all sides, so that is interesting to hear that that system is in the game, but you need to get it like square on at a 90-degree angle. Now, Philippe here says, I'm not sure if this is up to you, but there really needs to be some way to matchmake with +4 groups on unofficial servers, especially with lobbies disbanding after every match. It's a frustrating experience to make everyone join again. And David says, I mean, that is why we've been harping about the Portal browser. It's basically enabling that, plus map playlists, and in a persistent way too. It's not the I stumbled upon a cool server in my city server browser, but for organized play, it sure hits the mark. Now, I know they're going to expand more on how the server browser works. Everybody has a lot of questions about this. My guess is that it's still going to be separate from the matchmaking system, even though it is going to be front and center. But, you know, I'll reserve my thoughts and opinions on it for the time being, because I think we should just wait and see exactly what they have planned. Here's one from Ollie. He says, "You cooked, you should be proud. I know not really the place, but please consider the flight model of the game. It's so slow compared to Battlefield 3 and 4. Speed control of jets was such a fun piece of tech to learn." And David says, "Open beta will teach us loads of tuning and balance. Indeed, vehicles, weapons, economy of attachments, mode balance, etc." So, you know, it does sound like it's something that is on their radar, pun intended, and they are going to look into this. Okay, so finally today, we have a really nice breakdown from Battlefield Bulletin of a YouTube video which does an open beta graphics comparison. So for anyone who's wondering what console is best to play on, is it PlayStation 5, PS5 Pro, Xbox Series X or S, this is the full breakdown here. So he says Xbox Series X, PS5 and PS5 Pro offer 2 display modes, balance and performance, whereas Xbox Series S does not have display modes. Balance mode and the Series S aim for 60 FPS as well as higher visual quality with better shadows, lighting, terrain quality, resolution and level of detail. Performance mode cuts back on the settings mentioned above to try to reach 120 FPS, but it rarely achieves this on any platform. So it is pushing 120, but it just can't quite get there a lot of the time. PS5 Pro's main attraction is a higher average resolution compared to other platforms. We can also see more particles and debris in destruction. PS5 Pro has a longer draw distance. PlayStation 5 has a slight advantage in terrain and particle quality over the Xbox Series X. Xbox Series S eliminates screen space reflections. It also has a shorter draw distance, lighting and shadows compared to the performance mode of the other versions. In terms of performance, all platforms manage to maintain 60 FPS without any problems in balance mode. In performance mode, the frame rate hovers around 90 FPS. For a beta, Battlefield 6's performance is quite robust and satisfactory. Considering its visuals, it's a good job of optimization across all platforms. So it actually sounds like if you're thinking like, oh, maybe I'll get a PS5 Pro for this game over a regular PlayStation 5, you're not actually going to get any more FPS. You're just going to get a slightly better looking game. I will link the video here below because these are just basically like a short summary from that video. So if you're interested in seeing what it actually looks like, presumably I haven't watched the video, but I will link it for you guys below. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this little news roundup. Let me know your thoughts on everything down below. How have you been getting on with the beta so far? Maybe, you know, let me know some of your own little niggles here as well. I am going to do a video on this, so I'd be interested to know just what are your biggest problems with the beta? What do you think should be improved between now and when the game launches on October the 10th? If you found this video useful or informative, then don't forget to leave a like below, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with everything Battlefield. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.